today is time to paint, and what I'm doing is I'm covering everything, like the electronic with plastic cover, and also the shifter, the captain chair, also the fridge, completely covered it with plastic. Also I got the bench covered, and I didn't cover this back here because there's going to be no painting back there in the electronics, but I cover the autopilot sensor and the windows covering too. I gotta cover this window here with tape. So as you can see, the boat is like bare bones. And now I can see more how crooked the boat is, because you can see the fiberglass behind there. But once I paint white, that little gap there, I won't be able to see how crooked the boat is, because everything's gonna blend in white. So that's gonna be awesome. So every time I look at the door, it's not gonna affect me as much because it's gonna blend in. The paint I got was, I believe, is semi-gloss. I wanted to use flat paint, but the company that I got it from did not have that. So I know flat paint, you don't see imperfection as much, but the glossy paint is what I was able to get. Right, Amazon has just delivered the paint. That's 1 gallon of paint, and 1 gallon of paint was $95. It's very expensive paint, but it's marine paint that can be cleaned with chemicals. It's very strong paint. It's made for the marine environment. That paint, it says that you can keep it underwater for 72 hours. The paint is made for above the water line. It's not made for underwater line, but it's really tough, really good paint. That's why it's so expensive. And I got some brushes here, and I'm going to be applying the paint on the big surface areas with this roller. It's very fine. And what I heard about this paint is that you got to put thin layers, and since I have the air conditioner on the cabin, it's going to take all that moisture. It's going to dry the paint a lot quicker, which is very important. It's very hot outside, and this paint does not dry when it's very hot. So I'm going to keep the air conditioner running overnight, and the next day I'm going to apply another coat. All right, I'm gonna get started now. I already have this paint shook already. Beautiful white paint. This paint smells really strong, so it is recommended to open some windows. I also want to paint this piece of wood. This is the piece that was facing the anchor lockers, was getting a lot of moisture. Look at this, how the wood is trying to rotten already. Look over here, here's good. And look over here. Look at that. You see how the wood is becoming apart? That's because the moisture is getting to this area here and it's going to rotten the wood. So what I want to do is I want to cover it with this paint to make it last longer. And I'm gonna have to cover this beautiful smiley face from the manufacturer. Put 2 coats of this stuff. This is really good stuff. Protect it for a long time. Alright, good morning. The reason I'm wearing this is because it smells really toxic in here. So I want to use this mask to avoid the strong smell of this paint. And I wanted to show you something. This piece of wood, I left it outside yesterday and it would not get dry. So this paint is awesome, but if you do not have air conditioner inside your cabin, the paint is not going to dry. This paint does not work well in humid conditions. Now, in this boat with the air conditioner on, everything got dried really good. See, very, very good. So it feels really good. So today, I'm probably gonna put 1 coat now in the morning and another one in the evening. I just finished the 2nd coat, but it looks like it's going to need a 3rd coat, especially here in the pilot house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this dry. In about 6 hours I'm going to come back and I'm going to put 1 last coat to touch up all the final touch-ups that I need to do. Alright, all the painting is done after 6 coats of paint, and I've been painting for 3 days. And the air conditioners are running for 4 days straight to take the humidity out of the pilot house. The paint I'm using is excellent marine paint. Look how glossy it looks. Looks awesome. Great paint. The only downfall of this paint is if it's humid outside, this is not going to dry. So because I had this piece outside and it was not drying at all, but inside the pilot house with the air conditioner was drying and it was perfect. So everything came out real nice and smooth, very good. So now what I have to do is take all these plastic coverings out of the boat and see how everything came out and start putting everything back together in the boat so the boat is ready for Now I'm going to put the headliner dash up here. And that's going to cover all these imperfections. Now I'm going to install the LED light. And for that, I'm going to use some straight connections. All right, these connections are waterproofed already. All right, they're both working perfect. Excellent. Okay, now I'm going to place this bracket here that hides that hole, the anchor locker. All right, and the final thing I need to remove is this little tapes here. And this side here. Did not want to paint those screws. All right, so it's finally done. I'm gonna give you a tour. The dash came out real nice. The paint and the caulking around here come out perfect. Everything's painted real nice back here. Even back there is painted. Got the curtain back. Now the only thing I will need to do is seal that gap there, and I'm going to do that with some white foam later on. And back here, I painted the cut that I made there on the last video. Sealed everything up real good. All right, so everything is back into place. And what I like about it looks commercial fisherman boat. Now what I like about it is that I can clean this up real good, easy. And this marine paint is awesome because it resists against chemicals. So you can get a little bit of light chemical and just wipe it off, and it wipes off real easy. Right now it's really smooth. So now I can just grab a cloth with a little bit of chemical, wipe the areas down, and it's gonna be a lot much better to breathe in here. And no mildew, which is the most important part. No mildew. All right, so everything is white. The dash and everything. And if anything starts growing here, since it's white, I'll be able to see it, clean it up right away, and we're set. Now this took me about 4 days, 6 coats. Was a lot of work. 4 days working on this remodel, but it was worth it. Everything looks really decent. Better than carpet. Is very low maintenance on the boat. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. It feels now like a commercial fisherman's boat instead of having the carpet. And see all the imperfections behind the dash? You can't see them. Now the wood is painted real nice. Looks part of the top there. Look how smooth. Look how shiny that paint is. Now that I painted the bottom of the door there, remember that's how you can tell the boat was crooked. Let me show you this other footage. And now I can see more how crooked the boat is because you can see the fiberglass behind there. But once I paint white, that little gap there, I won't be able to see how crooked the boat is because everything's gonna blend in white. So that's gonna be awesome. So every time I look at the door, it's not gonna affect me as much because it's gonna blend in. Now you can hardly see the boat is crooked because everything is painted white, but you can still see the door frame crooked. But it's a lot easier on the eye. That way I don't get to see the boat crooked all the time when I'm looking at it. So it looks awesome. The Crooked Pilot House is finally finished, but I really like the way it looks. And it feels a lot better. It feels a lot bigger. I added probably a ½ inch of pilot house. So the paint I used for this boat, I recommend it, but you gotta be really careful. You have the right temperature. There's no humidity, because if you do have humidity, it's not gonna dry. It's not gonna dry as good. But if you have air conditioning or it's cool weather where you're at, the paint will dry awesome. In about half a day, I was able to put another coat on it. So that's why I was able to put about 6 coats on it. So very important to have air conditioning or have very low humidity if you use this paint. I will place the link in the description below of this paint if you like this paint to paint your boat also. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Navigate safe.